How to achieve financial success. Remember that money is not the ultimate goal, but a tool. It is a lever that allows you to influence the world around us, and ignoring it would be extremely unwise. What you do not control will control you. I believe that these words are the foundation of the mindset of any successful person. This rule also applies to finances. Only those who take charge of their financial matters can claim that happiness is not in money. First of all, you've probably heard the phrase, time is money. But have you ever thought about what that really means? Let me explain. Remember the movie In Time starring Justin Timberlake, where the main currency equivalent was time, hours, minutes, and seconds. People earned time for their work, paid for purchases with time, and paid taxes with time as well. At first glance, this seems fictional, but that movie reflects the reality of our lives. How to use the old adage, time is money. Didn't it become clear to you? Let me explain it more simply. You are actually trading your time for money. Every business owner realizes this by using it in their invention. This is a reality that comes down to simple mathematics. Your time equals money and not just yours. For example, if you earn $25 an hour, then $100 is equal to 4 hours of your life. Let's assume you decided to buy a delicious burger and paid $25 for it. At first, it seems trivial, but now let's substitute money for time. In the end, you paid for that burger with an hour of your life. The deal doesn't seem so favorable, does it? To better understand this, let's formulate your life. Lifetime, time at work, time for relaxation, time for sleep. Your life. This formula doesn't sound good, does it? The truth can be bitter. Therefore, first and foremost, realize one thing. A poor person and a wealthy person differ in their priorities and values. A poor person is willing to scrimp on even small amounts just to avoid discomfort. On the other hand, a smart person is ready to spend money to save time and ensure their comfort. As John Rockefeller once said, those who work all day can't find time to earn money. From this, we derive a fundamental rule for business thinking. If you want to earn, help others save time. Consider that any business solves two main tasks. It creates comfort and saves time. Taxis, food delivery, stores, all of these satisfy people's need for quick and convenient service. Keep watching the video, as I will give you some useful advice. Third, develop your skills. The amount of money you want to earn is directly related to your skills. Skills demonstrate your ability to earn. The more unique and complex a skill is, the higher its value. Anyone can be a cleaner, but only a few can be a top manager. Therefore, grasp this important truth. It's significantly easier to become a millionaire by increasing your income than to think narrowly. For example, with the mindset, I will only save, not spend, live modestly, and enjoy life in my old age. Friends, does such a life really inspire you? Instead of being overly frugal with finances, it's better to master a skill that will ensure a comfortable existence right now. Notice the abundance of advertising that has become a part of our everyday life. This is already the norm. You don't complain when you see ads on television or billboards on the streets. For instance, Times Square in New York is a true landmark. Where there is attention, there are people willing to pay for it. This is an eternal niche that will help you understand more complex and intricate aspects that will be useful in any situation. These skills won't disappear. They will support you throughout your life. Selling, negotiating, managing, time planning, marketing, and development. These are all part of the media landscape where demand significantly exceeds supply. Fourth, value your time. A study was conducted where individuals with excess weight were presented with personalized weight loss programs. They were divided into two groups. One paid for the program, while the other received it for free. As a result, the group that didn't spend money showed neither enthusiasm nor motivation, unlike the group that paid for the program. Consider this. Both groups knew how beneficial exercise and proper nutrition were, and both had information about the program workings. However, the value placed on knowledge determined the effort they put in. The same applies to your time and place in society. If you bend over backwards trying to please everyone, your attention and advice will be perceived as insignificant. If you respect yourself and your time, others will begin to treat you with respect as well. Whether it's an audiobook or a podcast recording, always take advantage of this. It's best to learn from someone who has succeeded in their field. This is a luxury that would have cost a fortune 100 years ago. While learning, don't forget to manage your finances. These are the basics everyone should know. Personally, I do it this way. 50% for everyday expenses such as food, housing, and transportation. 10% for an emergency fund to have access to funds at any moment. Another 10% I invest. How exactly, I'll explain later. And the remaining 30% I set aside for self-development, education, coaching, and courses that I regularly attend. In our dynamic world, those who don't adapt risk being left behind. Make sure to keep track of your expenses, whether in an Excel spreadsheet or an app on your smartphone. There are many convenient solutions available today. Sixth, try things out. I know my viewers are ambitious and want to start earning right now, but the first step is usually the hardest. Over time, I realized I didn't want to live in scarcity. I chose a different path. I aim to live in such a way that I'm confident my skills will ensure income, regardless of job availability. That's why I invest in skills that generate income. And that's what I recommend to you in the earlier points. Don't forget, you're watching this video to earn money, not just to avoid losses. To increase your income, it's important to learn to feel money. If you work hard but only see numbers in your account, be prepared for burnout, even before you really get started. If during a holiday while hanging out with friends or on a date, you want to go to a restaurant and try something truly delicious, don't deny yourself that pleasure. But in that case, choose only the most upscale establishments that will leave you with a wow effect. This way, you will enjoy your time while also wanting to earn more. This approach will create a connection in your mind. Earning money equals enjoying life. This will be a powerful motivator for reaching new heights. I encourage you to feel luxury with every fiber of your being. To illustrate, take coffee. It's just a need. But you can transform it from a routine task into something greater. This drink can become your ticket into the world of luxury. Try visiting the most expensive restaurant for a cup of coffee. Look at how people live, what air they breathe, and how they behave. This is especially true if you have already applied my advice and learned some skills. You can easily find a client among them. To be honest, that's how I found my partners. Interestingly, in elite establishments, wealthy individuals are much more respectful towards waiters. In upscale restaurants, I hear please, thank you, and how are you? Much more often than in cheaper places. This immediately changes the perception. There is a stereotype that wealthy people are snobs and treat their staff poorly. However, I see a different picture. There is much more mutual respect among the upper classes. Their status is not accidental. To get closer to their way of life, I will give you one last piece of advice. Invest. If you live paycheck to paycheck, you won't be able to save 50% of your income. But remember the distribution rule. At least 10% should be set aside. I believe in enjoying life, but I also believe in laying a foundation for the future. That's my philosophy. I don't want to be one of those who earned money and squandered it on nonsense. Yet I don't want to be the miser who never enjoyed the fruits of their labor. If you agree with me, let's talk about compound interest. Once the ancient Indian sage Sisa ben Dahir, the creator of chess, presented his invention to the ruler of India. The ruler was pleased with the game and offered the sage to choose any reward. Sisa proposed the following. For the first square on the chessboard, he would receive 1 grain. For the second square, 2 grains. For the third, 4 grains, and so on, continuing to double the amount for each square. The ruler, without hesitation, agreed and ordered his treasurer to issue the sage the necessary amount of grain. However, a week later, the treasurer came to the ruler with discouraging news. He stated that it was impossible to pay the sage because the required amount of grain exceeded the total wheat harvest gathered throughout human history. This illustrates the power of compound interest. Think about it. Apply the advice and remember, there is no such thing as getting rich quickly. There is only getting rich.